So pretty much, it's a movement of women coming out when they're like sexually assaulted and like raped and stuff. And a lot of the situations happened like way in the past, but they're all coming out now and they're like, me too, this happened to me, because they've been oppressed and they haven't been able to speak up, so now they are. And that's kind of what the movement is doing. And it's like in like the sister movement, I guess, is the Time's Up movement, which is like trying to stop the sexual assault from happening, pretty much.
What's Time's Up?
Time's Up is another
Hashtag that people are using?
yeah, for sexual assault and raising awareness for it and trying to stop it.
Do you know how it got started?
I don't know how it got started, but I just started reading about it and like getting into it more when the Harvey Weinstein stuff happened. But I think it is really important because this stuff happens like way too much, like, and it happens so often, like no one knows about it ever unless you speak up.
And do you know people?
Yes.
Is it for men also?
They're not using it. It's basically like, I don't want to say 100%, but it's basically like all towards women. But that isn't saying that there aren't sexual assaults that men are the victims of.
Question. Who's got a question?
How do you feel about some women in the Me Too movement, how they give like accusations that aren't true, and it's ruining some men's lives?
Yeah, I think that part is really bad about it. Like, I mean, obviously you're just not honest or like really that good of a person if you're trying to bring someone's whole life down with something like that. And I think those types of situations, even though they happen, I don't think that's like really what Me Too is like geared towards.
A lot of people happen to believe that this whole Me Too movement is surrounded about women, thinking that they just need a moment in the spotlight. What is your reaction to that?
I really don't think it's just a moment in spotlight type of thing, because this could be some woman's secret that she's been keeping for 10 or 20 years, depending on how old you are. And I doubt she's just gonna like come out and use all that courage to just like get 1 minute of fame.
Understandable that there are certain cases that may be false accusations and whatnot. With those cases, do you feel like there should be repercussions for the female or the victim or proposed victim as to, you know, potentially trying to ruin someone else's life out of spite or hatred or whatever it may be?
I mean, yeah, because that didn't happen. So, I mean, it would be really hard, but I bet there's like some way that you could figure out if it like really did actually happen or not, and then they can like get like defamation of character or something.
Okay, one final question. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to come back to the ruining men's lives, because obviously you can still become president of the United States with sexual assault allegations. So,
True.
Regardless of if you did it or not, do you think that it actually ruins men's lives when they become president of the United States, even if they have several sexual allegations against them?
How much it ruins their lives?
Yep.
Well, I mean, obviously not really that much if you see all these people like being accused. I mean, some like obviously Harvey Weinstein, that's like a whole mess. Kevin Spacey's getting like charged or whatever, but a lot of these people, you like hear about it happen in the news and it's big for like maybe a couple months, and then you like never hear about it again and everybody goes back to normal. So It's not really ruining their lives that much.
So I alluded to this and I want to say it in a different way. One of the things that's really, really important in a class like 119 is that we bring different perspectives out into the room. According to the numbers of sexual assault, a very high number of women and a much lower and yet extraordinarily, surprisingly high number of men are sexually assaulted before the age of 20 or 21, or certainly throughout their lives. And that means that most of you in here, a very high percentage of you in here, have had the experience, some experience of sexual assault. Everyone in the first section, except these two rows, can you all just stand up? So this is about the number of people in this classroom who have already experienced sexual assault in some way. This is a really serious issue. Look at how many people are just in this classroom. I certainly appreciate the idea of, like, the question, we asked a question about, men's lives and what about women who lie? Well, it's like, and that's an important question. And it's a question that white people often bring up about experiences of discrimination. So the reason I stopped on that and just said a few things, and I haven't on any of the other topics, is because this is deeply personal to a very large number of us. And there's certain words that people use a lot, like violence. Yes, sometimes that's the perfect word, but yeah, it's just finding a way to talk about this stuff that feels real. So.